Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can create a car repair website. So on this website we are going to have custom post types, we're going to have services, we're going to have an appointment booking form where you can actually make an appointment and it will connect to a calendar, and you can actually, as a client, you can make your own appointments with the firm. We're going to have the contact page, about us page. On the contact page I'm also going to show you how you can make sure that you're not having any spam in your inbox. So this is going to be a full-on tutorial. This specific video is the first part, so I'll create multiple parts, and in the end I'll also create a full upload, so that will be a longer one if you just want to go ahead and binge watch that tutorial. So yeah, let's go to my build environment and let's go straight into the video. Okay, so what we are going to be building is I found this template website. This is a car repair page or website, and I found this template and we're gonna build something like this. So we just have our homepage here where you can scroll down. We have your services, some information. Here you have some services, some expertising, testimonials, pricing. And also this is just a booking form or a contact form, but we're going to be using something like this to build a booking functionality. The booking functionality is not going to be discussed in this video, it's going to be in one of the next videos. So beware of that. Today we're only going to focus on the homepage, so we are going to be building this homepage. Now, as you can see, we also have some pricing pages here, pricing page, or services, I'm sorry, service page and pricing here. We are also going to be building that, but not in this specific video. And then we have a contact button that doesn't work. Contact page here, get in touch. As you can see, we're all going to be building this as well. So let's start by building the first homepage. So I have a clean install. It's on my local environment, local WP I'm using for this environment. And the plugins I have installed are Elementor, Elementor Pro, I believe Jet Elements, and also Jet Engine already. Yeah, as you can see, I am going to activate this. For this specific video, you only need Elementor, so you don't need the rest. I have a database update. Okay, so what are we going to be doing? And first of all, we're going to create a new page, which is going to be the home page, obviously. So we are going to be calling this home. And then we are going to create the template, which is going to be a full width. And we're going to publish this. Now, before we are going to work on the homepage, I actually want to start on building the header first. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the Elementor and then the theme builder. Let's wait for this to load, and I'm going to click on header. It says no templates found, and I'm going to click on add new, and that will create a header setup for us. So what does the header look like? It has 3 sections, so a menu, a logo, and a button, and that is it, and it is non-sticky. So that is what we are going to be creating as well. Now, if you have Elementor Pro, you can use these pre-built blocks, which is really cool to use, or you can create your own. What I am going to be doing is I'm going to be inserting this very first one here, because that is actually very familiar to what we want to achieve. Now, instead of having this logo, I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to add in a heading here, because that's what we have as well here. Exhaust, that's what it's called. I'm going to call it car repair. No, that's not Reparo. We're just going to call it Reparo. Let's do something like that. Let's scale this down to about 32. There we go. Let's make it white. And this background is going to be black. completely reparo. There we go. And instead of book now, we are going to create a contact button, which has a white overlay, and it looks like that. Okay, contact. I'm not going to use Roboto. I'm going to use Poppins for this specific tutorial, so it's not going to be a one-on-one build, as you can see, or a replica. Contact now. If let's see, we want to have a border width which is white. So if we minimize that, there we go. We have it like that. And then if we hover over this button, we want it to be white on the inside and have a black outline. So if we hover, the text is going to be black. The background color is going to be completely white. So I'm just going to type in FFF. As you see, we have it like that now, which is great. Now, the WordPress menu, we don't have a menu yet, but we can already do some styling here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on style. I'm going to select Poppins. 16 is fine. The color is white. If we hover over it, everything should be white as well. Hover on active, and we can see that. Let's see. The pointer is a background, but I want to have an underline. And the style of this point, I don't know why this became blue, but it should be white. The pointer width is going to be 2 pixels. Okay, that's it for now. So we're going to publish this. It's going to ask us, where do you want to have your website, your header? I want to have it on the entire page. You can also select specific pages by doing singular and then selecting the page that you want. I'm not doing that. I want to have it on the entire site. So let's save that and let's make sure that it isn't sticky. So I'm going to click on advanced motion effects, and it says sticky is set to none, which is great. Okay, cool. So we have our header. So let's go back to pages and let's go to the home page. Elementor full width, and let's edit this one with Elementor. Let's just drink a sip of coffee here. There we go. There we have it, Reparo with our header. And this is the homepage that we're going to have. It says 2024 here. This is a default footer for some reason that's installed. It's 2026, obviously, right now. No clue why it says 2024. Let's take a look on the homepage. What do we have? First, we have the hero section. So let's start with that. What can we see? We can see that we have this layout is built by 2 main containers. We have the left side, which is this part, and we have the right side, which is this part. So we are going to be adding that as well. First of all, I want to have a flex box to the right. What happened here? And let's see. Okay, as you can see, it's now overlaying with my header, which isn't what we want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to publish this. I'm just going to click on the header and see if there is something going on here. Advanced. Yeah, we have a bottom of -90. We don't want that. Okay, now let's go back to the home page. What happened there is it's put a margin of -80, which means that the home page would always scoop up -80 pixels. So it would go 80 pixels up in the section, which is not what we want. So we have our container, right? And within this container, we have, as we can see, it says layout is to the right. We're going to add another container and I'm going to duplicate it. So now we have 2 containers. Now, let's start with the minimum height. The minimum height is, let's just put it on. You see, this is full screen, right? This is the entire section. So that's what we want to have as well. So it says here to achieve full length container use 100 VH. So that's what we're going to use, VH. We're going to put it on 100. And now it's about the full screen. So I'm going to click on the container and I am going to click on background type, and you can use a slideshow for this. So here we have slideshow, and we're going to be doing that. So I'm going to add in a couple of images here. Let's put these 4. Insert into gallery. Now it's going to be loading these, as you can see. It's an infinite loop. A transition, I want it to fade, that is correct. Background size, let's put it on cover, and let's put this on center. If you do it, the Ken Burns effect, it will do the zoom as you have on this template as well. So you can do yes, and it says in. There you go. As you can see, we have our cool slideshow on the homepage already, which is amazing. Now I do want to have this little, they have like a grayish overlay. So I'm going to click on background overlay. Yes. I'm going to put it to black, and you can play around with the opacity if you like. You see, to make it more dark, yes or no. I'm just going to put it to 0.5 because I like that one. Let's publish these changes and let's get working on the header here. So I want to copy this text, and I'm going to click on here and I'm going to say heading, paste it in, and let's do something about the styling. Now that is white. If I click on the container itself, you can see you have some changes here. I also discussed this in my Elementor 2026 guide. You can go ahead and check that out in my on my channel. So I'm not gonna go too much into depth, but I'm gonna click on justify content to the middle here, so it adds it into the middle. And I'm gonna put this around. Let's put it at 82. Let's make it a little bit smaller, maybe. Something like that. That is what we want to have. Okay. That is very cool. Now maybe we can add in a cool effect on here. Maybe a shadow that we can make completely. No, let's not do that. Let's just keep it like this. Okay, so we have that, and then we want to have on the right side this little text. All right, so what we can do is I can go ahead and click on this container here and put it to the direction I want it to be up or down, doesn't really matter. And this does have a shadow now, doesn't it? Yeah. And I'm gonna add in a spacer. And as you can see, if I put it here and I add it in, you can change a little bit how high the text is going to be, which is some sort of a cheat code, but for now that is fine. There we go. And I'm going to add in a paragraph, text editor. There we go, paragraph. And let's put this in, copy, paste it in, and let's put this also at pop-ins. This is fine. And let's make it white. Let's put this at 18. Now, sometimes, as you can see, I'm not able to select the specific container that I want to work on. So because this overlay is here, so you can click on right click on structure, and then click on container, and then you're able to do it. Justify, we're gonna put it there. And this container is also going to be down, and I want to add in a spacer as well, but this time on top of it. Oh, that wasn't how I wanted. Spacer on top of it, and let's put that at, let's say 300 maybe. That looks fine. And then we are going to be adding in a button. There you go. Button style, I want to put it to the left, and advanced, you can put the align self also to the left, and there we go. The button is now there. Now they have our services. Let's keep the link for now. The icon, you can say I want to have an arrow to the right. I like this arrow always, so I'm going to click on here and then maybe put it 15 pixels, our services. And the styling is, if we hover, we want to have some sort of animation. So we want to have a shrink or a grow. Let's just put it on grow. And then for the border radius, let's set it to 0, so it actually is completely square, as you can see. Amazing. There we go. So we're going to publish that. I'm not going to use these 3 buttons, by the way. I'm just going to skip that. So let's go to the next section, which is this one. Really simple. We can see 2 containers, the left one, the right one, and there is a container within this container to add this video. But I'm not going to add this video. I'm just going to keep the picture and this thing. So let's add in a flex box that goes to the right. And let's add in 2 containers that go down. Duplicate. Okay, very nice. Then we want to have this color. So I have an extension installed called Color Picker, so I can pick a color and it copies the color for me. So now I can just put it in there, and as you can see, the color is copied. Now in here we have an image. So I'm going to select the image. Just going to drag in something here, maybe this dude doing that. Let's set the width to 75%. That seems about 50%. That's fine. 50%. Let's put it at 75. Oh, let's not play around with the heights. Okay. And then what do we have? Can we use this image? We can. Let me just use that image from the template itself, actually. There we go. We have this dude there. And now on the right side, let's put in the header. We can actually just copy this one and paste it in here. Paste. Make it maybe a little bit smaller because it's H2. Let's put it at 6. No, we're gonna put it at 50 maybe. 50 seems fine. Let's copy the text here and put it in. There we go. And then we have some regular text, which we can just copy also. There you have. And then what do we have here? It says about us. I'm gonna copy this button also, and then we're gonna paste it here. Now it says our services, but that is gonna be about us. Now, if you wanna have some spacing here, you can just go ahead and click on advanced and click on the padding and unlink the values. And let's say we wanna have maybe 100 pixels on top and 100 pixels on the bottom, as they maybe have it a little bit more. So let's do 150 and let's do 150, and there we go. All right, now if you want to have something like this, you can do it. It just takes a little bit more time. Like the counter. Elementor does have a widget for this. It's, I believe, just called the counter. If you drag it, for example, underneath here, as you can see, it just says cool number. How I would do it is I would just add in a new container and put in the counter in there, make this background maybe white, and then add in some, let's see, maybe change the width on here. See, just to be like that. That's how I would do it, and then and then with a negative margin put it on here. But I'm not gonna do that for the sake of this video. Okay, so some other cool things, by the way, that you can do with this is you can also add in maybe a box shadow. So this is, let's see, we have styling image, should be somewhere here, box shadow. And if you put this to white, you see you can have a more like a white overlay of the shadow. So if you put this to, for example, 20, 10, and then we're gonna make this a little bit more like that. See, we have a nice whitish spread in here, and then you can put a border radius of maybe 10 on it to make it a little bit more harsh. So something like that. That's always look always nice. What you can also do is click on advanced and go to mask, and you can add in a mask, as you can see. So you can add in some shapes if you like. I do like this, by the way, now that I'm click on it, and I like this one very much. So I'm going to be using that one as well. So I'm going to publish, and we're going to move on to the next one, which is this one. What do we have here? I have one big container with first 2 containers added and then 3 containers added. So I'm going to click on here, one container, put it to the right, add in a new container, and duplicate that. So we now have 2. And in here we are gonna have first our text. So I wanna have this background. The background is, let's click on this. You probably can't see it, but I'm copying a color from the template itself. So I wanna have this color that is a grayish looking color. Then I want to have an H or a heading here, paste. And we have some text here, paste. And that is the fun thing about Elementor. If you already have styled and designed something, you can just literally copy and paste it in if you would like to do that. Which is something I really like. There we go. Now, if you wanna, I wanna make sure that this is in the middle of the specific container. So I'm gonna click is align items center, and here as well in the middle. So now it's in the middle of each other. Okay, so now what do we have? We have another container. I'm gonna drag that underneath these ones. So as you can see, I'm gonna click on structure. Now what you can do is you can, let's see, now I have created 2 containers, but I actually made an error. What I need is, I need one big container that holds them all. So in here, I now need another container. It goes to the right, and I'm gonna drag this in there. So you have our main container, main container, second container, third container. Let's see, wait, this is a bit difficult. We have the main one. This should also be the main one. Yeah. Let's just remove this one. So we have our main one, our second main. Yeah, I want to put that to the right. So we want to have the first one, the second one, and the third one. Okay, and this one should be duplicated. Duplicate, so we have 2 in a row. Yeah, okay, like that. That is how we want to have it. So let's copy this back in, paste, copy, paste. Copy, paste. There we go. Copy and paste. All right. And now I want to add in this container, I want to add in a new container. So what you can do is I'm just going to put it here. But this one actually goes on top. And this one, we're going to put it to down. Yeah, that is how we want to have it. Nope. Okay, so what I did just there is I added one main container that goes to, that says down. Within that one, I added another container that holds the first and the second container to the right. And then I added in a new one so we can actually also add these three things in. So let's take a look. This one container should also go to the right. Now add in a new container. Yeah, it's sometimes it's a bit difficult if you can't really see what you're doing, but that one goes down and we want to duplicate that 3 times. Duplicate, duplicate, because that is going to be our, call to action. So we're going to add in a call to action button here. As you can see, the skin, you can do cover. That's what I'm going to be doing. And then we can add in an image, probably just, let's add in this one that we first used. And let's go to content. I don't want to use the heading. I just want to use these 3 things. So yeah, let's just do car repair. Now let's just put in here car repairs. View service. And I'm just gonna style 1, right? So if we have 1 on 550, and that looks fine. Style, content, that's all fine. Let's pop in 16300. Let's put it on 400. The button is also fine. Just like that. Okay, and I'm gonna copy this over and paste it in 3 times here. Paste, paste. And I'm gonna just select another image. Maybe this one. What do they have? Car repairs, body shop. Let's just also put the same text in. Body shop. And detailing. So I can click this away. Let's add in another image. Do we have one? Yeah, that's fine. Let's just put in maintenance here. Okay, and in the end, we also want to have some padding just as we did before. So I'm going to unlink these. I'm going to set that to 150 and the bottom to 150 as well. So we have it like this. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, we have quite some things left to do. So yeah, this expertise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this image, download it, and let's publish this site really quick. Let's add in a container that contains another container which can be duplicated. So now we have 2. And let's add in a heading, copy, paste. Let's make the text black of color. Oh, that was not what I wanted. black of color, add in this same thing. Let's copy the text, make it black of color as well. And let's add in this lorem ipsum. There we go. And then we have these progress bars. This is also just called progress. As you can see, progress bar. And what do they have? Detailing. So they don't have they just have here detailing 87%. And what you can do here is you can just make the color like that. Let's say the typography is Poppins and it's about 16 and the weight is like 400 maybe. Seems about right. And now we can just duplicate them 4 times. Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Oh, they have 3. So let's remove that. Let's put in here, this is not detailing, they have repairs and tune-up. So we're gonna do repairs. And here we're gonna have tune-up. And these are about 75%, 75 and 93. 93. And then in here, I'm gonna click on an image. There we go. And let's upload that latest file. There you have it. And as you can see, they have a little bit more spacing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on this container. It says column. I'm gonna change that to 50. Maybe even make it 75 or 100 pixels. And I'm going to click on here and add in some padding of 150 and 150 again. And there we go. Now, let's just add in this last section because the pricing and the form is going to be added in later on in the next tutorials because we're going to use an actual booking form for this instead of the plain form, and this is a specific page that we're going to be building. So let's just add in this one lastly. So we are going to go ahead and click on, let's see, we have, this is actually just one container. Strange, but it's true. But what you could do in order to make sure that this is, aligned to the left is you can actually still add in 2 containers. So I'm going to do that, add in a container, which I'm going to duplicate. And I'm going to add in an image on the background. I'm going to use that tire. There we go. Position is center, center. Attachment is scroll. Repeat is no repeat. And this is going to be cover. And now on the left side here, what do we have? A header and some stars. So I'm going to copy in this heading, paste, make it white of color, add in some stars, which is called rating. And the rating scale is going to be 5. Let's put it on 25. There we go. The spacing on 15, that's fine. And then we have another one of that, which is going to be white of color. Oh, that's a testimonial. Okay. So what you could do is, I'm now just, creating it by hand, but you can also drag in a testimonial, like a testimonial carousel. There we go. Let's just put in a background overlay here, which is black. There we go. Skin default bubble. Yeah, I'm just gonna remove it like that. And this is a quote, right? So I'm just gonna Can I inspect this to copy the text? Yeah, I can. I'm gonna go ahead, add some quotes here, paste it in, make it italic, and then I'm gonna add in a button here with copy, paste. I'm gonna just say read more, which would eventually lead towards the contact us page or the about us page where the actual reviews would be placed. So then I'm gonna click on padding. I'm gonna say 150 again, and the bottom's also 150. I'm gonna publish this. So let's take a look at what we've created so far. View page. There we go. Driven by quality, powered by passion. We have our nice header where the menu still needs to be implemented. We have our image overlay on the top. If you scroll down, we have this little thing about us. Scroll down, we have our services where we can click on the service, which we are going to implement in a later video. Scroll down, we have this section, and then we have our testimonial. Now in the next video, I know we haven't added the pricing and the contact and the footer, but we're going to do that in the next one, since this one is getting as long as it is. And yeah, so then in the next video, we're going to be looking at the other pages, and in the future videos, we're also going to be taking a look at how we can add in custom post types, which are going to be the services, and also the booking functionality to actually make an appointment and add it to your calendar. So stay tuned for those. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. This was more, Elementor basics. In the next videos, we will go into the really cool stuff and become a little bit more technical, but I'll try to explain it as well as I can. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.